Computer. Bam. Welcome everyone. Hello. Oh, hold on. Let me pin my video here. Okay, there we go. That's right. Hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Misty Petrella. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are here to create magical space and get you all empowered and ready to go to get your Monday started in the most productive and amazing way. Yes. So thank you for joining in. There will be times when we could comment and chat. This is more of a two-way discussion than it is just me harping at you for a while. I'm gonna be in listen mode. No worry, doll. You be whatever you need to be. I'm just happy you're here. You'll have opportunity to chat. Don't worry. We'll be asking questions. Okay, guys. So if you hear some noise in the background, there's some stuff going on at the house. So I apologize if that's distracting for anyone, but I think you should probably cut out any shortly here. Okay, so Magical Mondays, welcome. First, what we're gonna do is take a, hey Ruth. First, what we're gonna do is take a moment. The first thing I always do, not always, almost every day, not every day, but many days I try to do this, is start my day off getting out of my beautiful brain and back into my body. Because it really slows me down. If I'm up here spinning and like, what's everybody else doing? And what do I need to be doing? And what's not going right? And what's not going wrong? And all the stuff, right? So our most like empowered space is in this body. We need our brains. Sometimes they can get us in trouble. So we're going to take a moment, get your feet on the ground, get in a comfortable position. Hold on just a second here. Get in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you want, don't if you don't. And take a moment here. Take a couple of long, slow breaths in and out. Long, slow breaths in. Long, slow breath out. And just pay attention to the air as it moves in and out of your body. Like follow the track of air as it comes in, goes into your lungs, and then comes back out. Long, slow breaths. One more time. Okay, so now I want you to take a moment, start at the top of your head, and scan your body from the head and move slowly down. And anytime you come across some tension, I just want you to relax it. No judgment about the tension. Doesn't matter if it's there or not. We just want to be aware of it and release it as you encounter it. So a lot of times we have tension in our foreheads. We have some there, usually. In your jaw. Back of your neck or your shoulders. Down into your chest. Your heart space. Down into your torso. Maybe in that belly area there might be some tension. Down around your hips. On your legs, ankles and feet. Then I want you to take a second and scan all the way back up. Back up your legs. Up your body, your chest, your neck. Okay, one more big deep breath in, big deep breath out. Take a second, move your feet around, move your hands around, get back in your space, come back to the meeting. It's such a lovely, what we took, literally that took 6 minutes, probably less because I did some introduction time. And it just eases all that tension back out of your body. And I'm telling you right now, there's nothing positive coming from all of that, right? Get you back in your body and like way more present. And anytime I'm feeling tension about anything, about what's going on in the day or what's going on in my business or whatever, if you just take literally 3 minutes and just do a couple long, slow breaths in, long, slow breath out, slow breath in, slow breath out, literally changes the situation, whatever it is, and gets you more present. Because when we're spinning up in here all day long, yeah, there's some use of this beautiful brain of ours, right? It does a lot of things. But that spinning and worry and all of that tension isn't helping you move through your day in the most empowered way. Okay, so here's what we're talking about today. I've been working a lot. I have a friend, her name's Annika. You might have heard of her, Annika Frey, beautiful soul. And I've been working a lot. She and I just happen to be like business friends. And she is a healer, I would say. That's probably what I would call her. I guess we're all healers in some way, shape, or form. But she started doing this practice to sort of help her surrender a little bit more every day. And it's not her practice. All Theresies in Love and War. It is Love and War. It is from Deepak. And she added her own flair to it. And I've been using it myself. And I was like, what a beautiful way to plan out your day. Instead of like, these are the 65 things I need to get done. From a far more empowered space about how to be productive in ways that we can't even really, I believe that my brain sometimes gets in my way, right? About, like I said, a very important thing. But like, there are things I want, right? And so I let the things I want sometimes drive like all the actions I take. And sometimes there are more powerful actions to be taking, right? And we can get some of that information from our highest self, spirit, source, whatever works for you. God. So she has these lists of questions, and I've been using them myself. And I got to tell you, over the last week, I have been way more productive. But not only that, it has all been with like this ease and flow, this like loveliness to it. This like, I'm having way more fun. And so I've been asking myself 5 questions every day. And I meditate every morning. That's a part of my practice just because, well, I need to connect with my energy every day. And if I don't, it gets a little spiky sometimes. So I need that for my own centered groundedness. So I meditate every day. And when I'm finished, I ask myself these 5 questions. And then I go with the answer, right? Planning your day in this way is a very trusting way to do it. It's way more in your feminine space, honestly, right? It's very masculine to say, hey, whoever just joined, I'm so glad you're here. It's very masculine to say, I need to get 17 things done and this is how I'm going to do it. It's the more feminine aspect of ourselves, which is beautiful, by the way. I'm a very masculine planner. I love it. I love having a list of stuff to do. Makes me feel so good to check stuff off. Sometimes those things are in my highest and best good. Sometimes they're not. But I'm checking stuff off, I'm telling you. And I'm good at it. But a far more feminine way to engage in our business. And something that I'm trying to pull into my own life a lot more is this more feminine way. And so this is definitely a more feminine way, right? So one, ask yourself every day, who am I? Who are you every day? What I find to be interesting are my answers over time. Because I write down what I get, right? Some people journal. Sometimes I hear things. Sometimes I'm like aware. So like I'll write down what I get so I can remember it. So who am I? What do I want every day? And literally, guys, this takes like 5 minutes. Again, this is not a long-term, like we get a book of answers. When you are working with intuition or your highest self or spirit, you don't get books. You get very clear, concise answers, right? They are to the point. Well, actually, they'll speak to you in the way that you most receive. But in my way, they're like, look, this is what you need to do. So what do I want? And whatever answer you get, it's about trusting that answer. Question number 3, how can I serve while feeling good? How can I serve while feeling good at the same time? Today. That's always a really interesting, I get interesting answers on that one. What am I grateful for? Always wrap that question in. It's such a good question. I tend to do like, I am serving while feeling good right now. Thank you, Mama. I love Magical Mondays. I get to talk about like whatever I want. It's like the funnest. Okay. So, what am I grateful for? Guys, like that is like I literally try to, because that question could get so immense, right? So I tend to be like, what am I grateful for from yesterday or right now in this moment? Like what's happening right now that I'm grateful for? And a really powerful way to use gratitude is to say what you're grateful for that you don't already have. Like the things you're trying to achieve, being grateful for them in the moment as if you already possess them, right? Really powerful way to use gratitude. And my favorite question, because it usually gives me the tasks of any given day, and I literally been following it. It's really cool. How can I generate income? Or what can I do today to generate income? You might not actually be receiving the income in the moment, but what is my step today to get me closer to income? What tasks do I need to do to create income while I serve? You won't always get answers that you're like, that are sort of linear. They're not like that. Like sometimes the answer is, and Annika, when she shared these questions with me, because we're in a little mastermind together, but she shared these questions with me, she prefaced me with the fact that I might not always get an answer that makes sense to creating income. Like the other day, on last Wednesday, I was kind of feeling down and I was having sort of a day, you have a day. And I was sort of having one of those days and I asked the question and the answer was, go out and take a walk. And I was like, that doesn't seem like the right answer. So I asked again. They said, go take a walk. Because here's the thing, and the reality, guys, we all know the answer to this one, right? Like if you go and shift your energy, if you're feeling boo-boo kachoo and you need to go shift your energy, well, you're not going to be creating income if you're feeling boo-boo. That's for sure. So it is the best thing to do to go do something to shift your energy. And it's what I did. And like the next day, I got a call from a potential client. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, you can draw your own conclusions. Okay, so those are the 5 questions. This is, you get, not only do you not get like books of answers, but like this is, you get little pieces at a time, right? You're not going to get the next 7 days worth of work. You get literally two or three things that need to be done that day. And so, because, well, I think they don't give us the whole thing at the same time, because really, what can you get done? It's just worrying about what needs to be done in the future. And that's not actually what we're supposed to be doing. So it's trusting your intuition enough to say, this is what I'm going to do today, and going to do it. And I'm telling you guys, it has been, the following of this has brought me more joy and flow and ease than my most favorite way of planning, which is knowing every single thing that needs to be done from here to perpetuity so I can succeed. I find more joy with this more feminine way, but there's a lot of trust involved. So try it for like a week and see what happens. Just see what answers you get. Very, very, well, it's just been lovely. I'm just saying. Okay. Any questions about this? Feel free to type in. I can't see everybody's faces. So feel free to type in any questions you have about this method of planning out your week with ease and flow, because that is for sure the thing it does. And it engages you with this side of yourself that you're not usually employing in your business, but so wants to participate. So engage your spirit, engage your highest self. They literally are here for us. Okay, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer, but if not, oh, should we write our answers down? Oh, should we ask them out loud? Okay. As you will find in working with spirit, there are no shoulds. So what feels the best for you? Do you want to write your answers down? I write my answers down only because I can't remember all the stuff, right? So I just write it down. Plus, I write it down because I want to see from day to day to day what the answers were like if I look back. Like, what did I say I am on Monday versus what I am on Thursday? From Abby, right. I love to write my answers too, just because I like to reflect. Should you write your answers? No shoulding. Go to like what is in your heart. What do? I write my shit down. Okay. Should we ask them out loud? Again, I would say back to you, what feels the best for you? You can ask out loud. I frequently talk to my spirit team out loud. Just so we all know. I'm just going to put it out there. Oh, Misty also, I so love that there's another Misty on here because that just doesn't happen very often. Misty in a private journal. The world doesn't need to know, but looking back shows our progress. Right. I talk to them out loud too. Right. We don't need to talk to them out loud. They usually know our thoughts before as we're in the process of thinking them. But guys, on the for reals, we're physical. We're here in the physical world. So like talking is the thing we do and they can hear it. They're right there all the time. So what I would say, Mindy, to you is go with what calls to your heart. You'll always win, especially when dealing with your intuition, talking to your highest self, your spirit team. Okay. Any other questions? I love those questions. Okay, cool. So guys, I have been over the past week, you're going to hear me talking about it a lot more. I've been starting to tell my story more about what sort of catapulted me into doing this work and sort of how it changed my life, right? And I'll run through it really quick because it's not really the point of the story, but I have to tell you the story real quick in case you haven't heard it. But here's the deal. I was in the middle of what most people would consider like the quote unquote, perfect life. From the outside, it looked all perfect-y. But inside, my life was really falling apart. Like I had been married. We really weren't that compatible, even though he's a lovely man. We just were not compatible together. And we tried, and we could not make it work. And we both, the short story I was sharing is that like, I had this moment, this really clear moment about 10 years ago. Oh, shit, it's so weird. actually it was probably like 8 years ago, where I realized that I was really, really unhappy. And I'd been trying to pretend for a long time that I wasn't. And so I'm looking around at this like life that I had worked very hard to create, as a matter of fact. And I was disconnected from all of it. Like all of it. I mean, we were in this big, beautiful house, but it was this really empty house, and it didn't really have all that much love and joy in it. My relationship wasn't terrible, but it was not filled with love and joy either. It was sort of this like empty, we were kind of like roommates living in this house, which for me just made it feel even lonelier than when I had been by myself. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone has ever experienced that kind of loneliness when you're like with someone, but it really feels like you're not. And it's actually this deeper loneliness. I don't even know how to describe it, but my job at the time was just, I was working like 90 hours a week, and there was no end in sight and no joy either. And I knew enough to know that I had done all of it. I mean, I'm not really supposed to say it's our fault, but literally it was my fault. Like I dove in and helped to create this life. And it was really, this moment of clarity that I had was very devastating, because I knew that because of my clarity, I couldn't go back. You know, like I knew that my relationship was falling apart. But I also, just because I had this realization that doesn't mean that he did, you know, I mean, I knew we both weren't happy, and the not only was it like all of this loneliness actually, but it was this like, I felt really like to blame for it in a way that I knew, like, you know, when you have these weird moments of clarity over time, when you're like living your life, I could see all of the moments of clarity, like trying to warn me along the way that I was creating something I didn't want. But I just was so unattached to myself. I mean, I had absolutely no idea who I was. And if someone said to me, you know, this was at a time before I even knew what coaching was, I had no idea. So when someone said the term like self-love, I was like, yeah, I love myself. Yeah, I think I'm great. But I had no idea what that really meant. And so I found out later, and I went to therapy actually, because at the time I didn't know what their coaching existed. So the only thing I knew to do was to go to therapy. And so I did. It took me a long time to figure that out, like what I needed to do next. But I do have 5 things that I did really wrong in that process to egg things on, right? To like make it happen, even though life was trying to tell me, don't do it. And those same exact things apply to our ability to create anything in life, whether it's more income, whether it's, you know, a different or better relationship, really creating more income is also, you're talking about creating anything that has like value. And so these 5 things I'm going to share with you right now really quick before my time is out, hopefully will help you in your process of creating, so that you experience it with joy and not with the way that I did. Because every time I found that I created something I didn't, when I look back and I was like, God, what did I do? This is not what I thought it was going to be. Like, this is terrible. It was because I was forcing it to happen. So hopefully these 5 things I'm going to share with you real quick will help you in your process along the way. Okay. So number 1 is that I thought that if I pinned my happiness to anything outside of myself, that it would make me happy. So like, because like in the Midwest, it was like this series of like acquisitions. That's what we do. We like acquire things to create a life, right? Like I get my degree, I'll be happy if I get my degree, if I get the right job, if I get the right husband, if I get the right, if I get the thing, if I get the next thing, I'll be happy. It'll be fine. And pinning your happiness outside of yourself or on the next thing is the fastest way. And I don't even care if it's your next client, dudes. If I get one more client, I'm going to be happy. All that does is encourage you to take clients that you know aren't right for you. If I make $10,000 this month, if I get this, whatever it is, I'll be happy. And that is not the way you're going to find it. That's just not where it is. So like, that was literally, that might sound like a dumb learning, but for me, that was a really big thing. It took me a long time to learn that. Like, if I just do this thing, it'll all be fine and work out. Oh, jeez, that's terrible. So that was number 1. So finding that joy within yourself first, and then creating from that space of joy is actually what brings you the things that you want. Including, excuse me, more clients. Okay, number 2, I had no idea who I was or what I wanted. And when I say that, like I had no idea who I was, I mean, I did not. And I also didn't really love myself. And I mean like in the deep sense of like true self-forgiveness, like on a deep level. And until that happens, it doesn't really matter what you pile on top of it. Right? Because if you don't really know what brings you joy and who you are, literally asking those questions I was talking about earlier every day, you start going after vague generalities. Like I was going after vague generalities, these vague things. I need a husband. That'll make me happy. I need a career. That'll make me happy. So I just went after these things. I had no idea what I wanted out of a career or what I wanted out of a husband. Or what you want out of your business. Or what brings you joy in it. Feel me? So a great way into those questions to start with are those 5 things you ask yourself every day. Who am I? What do I want? This one is really big, and number 3 is really big, and I think it happens to a lot of people and they don't even really realize it, because I certainly didn't. But I was going about life thinking that I was broken in some way and that I wasn't happy because I didn't have those things yet. And all that does is create this pursuit of things that you think will fill these holes. Whatever they are. We've all got them. What I didn't realize for most of my life is that that's just one way to see it. There's a far more empowered and joyful way to see yourself and your work in the world, which is no matter what has happened to me, because things happen to everyone and in varying different degrees, right? No matter what has happened to me, I am already whole. And I can go experience my wholeness on this planet in any way I want and choose. If I choose to have a business, if I choose to go after a relationship, if I choose to create a new program for my clients. It's a very different energy than I need my next client and I can't, like, I'm not okay if I don't get one. Very different energy to go about your day or your life. And I was in this grasping thing for a really long time because I thought that I would fill any of these holes, all the whatever holes I have, right? I thought I would be able to fill that with something outside of myself. And the only way to heal those spots, those holes, whatever they are for you, is from in connecting with yourself. Spirit. Because believe me, I've really tried. I really tried the other way lots and lots of times, and here and this relationship, and maybe if I try this, and what about this experience? Right? I tried really, really hard to fill any empty spaces inside of myself with something else, with a career, with a, doesn't even matter what it is. And like, think about how much pressure that puts on the other person, if it's a relationship or the thing or the business. You are my happiness. And if you don't act the way I need you to act, I will not be happy. Like, that is just a ton of pressure, right? If my business doesn't, come in the speed that I think it should, then I am not happy. It's just a lot of pressure for a little business. Or people. I certainly don't want the pressure on me. So that was a huge learning. That was a huge one. Okay. I thought that, because I thought I was broken, I thought that greatness, like the ability to be great, was for other people. I thought that there was like only some people, like Michael Jordan and like, super like Rihanna and Madonna. I thought greatness was for those people. That's just absolutely not true. Every one of us has greatness. I don't even think I need to harp on it. You probably all already know that for yourselves. Every one of us has our own greatness. Right. Their greatness just happens to be public. That's right. Not always true, right? I thought, this one was big too, I thought that someone was going to come in and be my hero, that someone was going to like come and save me. And for a long time, I expected that to be through my relationship. And it seems like such a first world problem kind of thing. But I literally had that problem. I thought someone was going to come in and save me. I thought someone was going to come in and save my business. That's just not how it is on this go round. Maybe that's happened for you in another lifetime. That is not why we're here. As a matter of fact, that leads right into the next one, which is we all have to be our own heroes. And I don't mean like we don't need people. Everyone needs people. You need your team. You need a group of people who love and support you. But like, no matter what, you still end up saving yourself. This happens a lot for, I'm a coach, obviously. I'm a coach. So people are like, come in and save me in my business. Well, I can't save you, dude. We can work together. We're like team on this. We really got to be our own hero. Again, I really I watched Pretty Woman a lot as a girl. I watched Dirty Dancing a lot as a girl. And like nobody puts baby in the corner. And I was waiting for like Patrick Swayze to come and save my ass and like pull me out of the corner and bring me into the light. Dude, I really thought that. So I was like waiting for my hero, waiting. Oh my goodness. The things we do to ourselves. Sorry guys, I went over. But But all of those things apply to our business and literally to creating income. So like, is your business who you are? Is your business what you want? Specifically, not vague generalities. I need more clients. That ain't gonna get it. Do you think your business is, are you or your business coming from some place that is not whole? Like, are you feeling broken in some way around this business space? What would you do if you were whole? Because you are. You know, where are you not playing in your greatness in your business? You know what that is? You don't need me to tell you. So what is that for you? Where are you not playing in your greatness? Or where are you not being your own hero? This one was big for me too when I first got started. All right, guys. That's Magical Mondays. I went a little bit over. I'm so sorry. I can wax episodic. Anyone have any questions? A little overwhelmed, yes, because as you know, expansion is coming. Oh, this is a big expanding year. It's going to be interesting for a lot of people. You are going to be asked to step into your full power this year. You might not be asked. It's just going to kind of be expected of you. You're going to be shoved out into it. You're so wonderful too, Mindy. Mindy, thank you so much for coming. It is a 1 year major growth. That is so true, Ruth. So true. Whether we're ready or not. That's what last year was for, is getting us all ready, right? All right, guys. I love you. Have an amazing day. Mwah. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you on the flip side. Take care. I know you probably don't want to watch this again, but everyone's going to get a link just in case. All right. Take care, guys. See ya.